Hello everybody, welcome back to Mordor, the depths of Dejenol, Holy Crusade. I'm Mithril Zenith, and I've been doing some stuff. So, last time, I leveled Paladin to 111. Between then and now, I leveled Sorcerer to 91. Got the title of, was it Fire Master or something? Anyway, 91 is apparently the level where you minimize the cost of resistance spells. So as you can see, they all cost 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Yeah, so this costs basically nothing to cast any or all of these at the start. And in the future, I might be leveling Mage some more to reduce the cost of my healing spells. I think Paladin could do that as well, but I'm not really sure what level those become. Not kill, heal. Okay, so looks like Paladin's taken the lead in terms of the level of the spells, although I'd have to look up if it's even worthwhile training Paladin more for a healing spell lowered cost, because that just seems too much. Plus, Mage, I would love to get other spells like Soul Entrapment costing less, like my kill spells costing less. That would be nice. And leveling my Sorcerer, I also lowered the cost of Acid Spray down to 9. Paralyzing Death is down to 37. And this, oh my goodness, it is such a good spell. I can walk into the Dwarven Lord room, cast Paralyzing Death once, and instantly take out his entire group, which is worth a couple thousand experience. And since my game is the way it is, it respawns after like 3 minutes, so I can just... I've set up an endless loop where I go up to the Dwarven Lord, come down through that mess of one square rooms, and come back up, and then he's back up again. Anyway, so that's probably what I'm going to be doing right now, because right now, I've been leveling at my Scavenger. Because, first of all, it's the only guild that I'm not Guildmaster of. Well, I guess I'm not Guildmaster Wizard either. I might actually take Wizard all the way, because just the general damage spells, the movement spells costing less would be nice. But yeah, the damage spells, especially like Word of Death, Wizard, and Healer, are the only ones that really get that anywhere near effectively, or are they the only ones that get that at all? I don't know, one of those two. Either way, so I might get that just for those, but currently I'm working on Scavenger because Charm of Opening, it used to cost 31. By the time I started this day, I was 43. Scavenger levels quickly. Charm of Opening, I can reduce the cost pretty easily. Plus, I'm not even Guildmaster yet. I need to fix that. And that is what I was thinking when I started leveling Scavenger. So I figured, why not start recording? We can at least capture one of my transfers over into Guildmaster, because I think all the other ones I did off screen. Yeah. As you can tell, my equipment pretty sucks right now. Iron Shield was the highest I could use at the time. But like 52 or 53 is apparently a big level turnover. Ugh, every time. Even with Sight Veil and Feather Essence and having all the resistances except for Mind, Disease, Poison, and Magic to cast, that only takes me 34 stat points. What did I do? Why does that happen? Probably because I press E once accidentally when I'm not because I'm typing E so many times with resist and electricity and all that stuff. because if I press E, then it equip or unequips the weapon that's currently selected, and it automatically defaults to 1 or 2. So I guess that's why it happens. So the first thing I want to talk about, if you're really sharp-eyed, you might notice that my Ring of Frost has a different number of charges. Oh, I'm also quested to find to kill a Horda giant right now, so that's why I'm wandering up here. But I just killed these guys a little while ago. Yeah, so you might be wondering, why does your ring have different amount of charges? Did you sell it and rebuy it? No, this is more than 40 or 25 or however many the shop sells them at. Well, remember last episode when I showed off that I got a second Ring of Frost? I'm on that ring. But not because I used up the charges on my first ring. Oh no. That's because I was on level 6, and I ran through... There was an anti-magic area where a purple ooze spawned. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can just run through it, I don't even have to fight it. In the one round of combat that I was in the purple ooze's area, in this anti-magic area, I was leveling sorcerer, otherwise I would have just dropped a pillar of fire on it. In one round of combat, I hear that slurp noise. Whatever it was, that probably sounded awful. Anyway. And I look and it says, oh, your Ring of Frost has been destroyed. Of all the items to be destroyed, like, I had just found another mithril dagger. I had replacements for everything, and I guess I had a replacement for that Ring of Frost. But why did it have to be the most expensive item on my person? Seriously, come on. Cut me some slack here. I'm just gonna go down, pin, and then come back up. And these Grail mosquitoes are not worth much experience. Do they only have like 1 hit point each or something? I wasn't even getting any experience for the last bit of it. That is not worthwhile at all. Yeah, I'm like 90% sure that I have a Horda giant in confinement. I probably should have checked before I came down here. But I figured there's enough time and chance to find one on a lower level that I might as well just focus on leveling up, and then if I don't get it, I can just buy one from confinement. Like I said, they're a common enough thing. I think that when I was leveling mage, I got a decent selection of things, including Horda giants. I might not have. I might surprise myself. But yeah, so that ring, losing that ring sucks. It's about 20 million gold. But it actually brought to my mind a different sort of question. Because I'm playing some other games recently. I've actually started playing Mercenaries Saga, which is an indie game that just made its way to the Switch fairly recently. Really fun. Basically like a kind of like a indie Final Fantasy Tactics type thing. Not as many jobs, but every character has a unique promotion, branching thing, kind of like older Fire Emblem. So it's a mix of between those types of things, and I think it's pretty fun. But in one of the what? Through 95% drain resistance, and actually hitting me. Yeah, apparently I can't cast Paralyzing Death right away. This is going well. Through 95% drain resistance, and through actually hitting me, which they rarely do in the first place, because I'm invisible and have protection and have, like, Is it 400 or 500 somewhere in there? Attack def. Either way. Yeah, at least wisdom is not the rarest stat to drain, and I'm pretty sure I have a whole set of tomes and potions, but that still sucks. Where was I? Losing my train of thought. Anyway, I've been playing that, and one of the early missions, oh, you're fighting monsters. And of course, one of the first monsters that comes up is a slime. Okay, sure. But here's my question, here's my issue. In Dungeons & Dragons, slimes, they're not the highest level, but they're certainly not like the weakest enemies you face. In fact, a low-level party going against a slime, that's like certain death. If they're not prepared, if they don't know what they're doing. So... come on. At least only I have one. Where the heck are the giants? You're kidding me. Gishi, Kanishi, Mishi, Slave Master, not Horde a Giant. Horde a Giant, not even a... Nope, not found. I was like, is it not even a giant type thing? So, like, in D&D, they're not that weak. In other things they appear in, they're not that weak. I think, was it Dragon Quest that was the first one to do this, where was it Insight? Yes. Was it Dragon Quest the first thing to do it, where slimes were the weakest type of creature? I think so. But it still confuses me as to why that's the case. Like, what... And the only explanation that I've heard is, oh, they're like the simplest creatures to draw. They're just like circles or blobs or whatever shape you want. Hydlide, I think, came out earlier? Did that come out before Dragon Quest? I remember that Hydlide also started you off facing slimes. There's a lot of games where you face slimes early on, and sure, in this game you have cleanups, but cleanups are one of the more threatening enemies on the first floor. I can't... can't talk and type at the same time. So this is one of my questions. I guess I'm just going to ask you, whoever's watching or something. Just a discussion question, but since when did, like, when have slimes been known as a weak enemy type? When really, what they can do is so threatening. There we go. And I charmed it too. Cure paralysis. You're just making things harder. You know what? I'm just taking you back right now. Sell you. Guilds, give me a level. Bank. Here, have some stuff. Resist par, resist a C, resist F, resist co, electrical res, fee, site. Yeah, it just confuses me because I've never... I mean, I didn't grow up on Dragon Quest. I grew up on... Technically not even Final Fantasy. What did I grow up on? Well, I grew up on this. But I also grew up on... just a couple of other games. Not anything too crazy. Like I said, I didn't even start playing Final Fantasy until later in life. When I was, still like a younger teenager, but... Like, I never really played any of the Dragon Quest games. Played Fire Emblem, but that doesn't have slimes in it at all, ever. Any of the games. This has slimes, technically, but they're also really dangerous. D&D slimes, pretty dangerous. So, why is it that Dragon Quest decided slimes, oh, they're stupid and weak? Was it just like a weird, funny comedy thing? Because I know the Dragon Quest, a lot of it was like not really meant to be taken totally seriously. And it would make sense that, like, oh, you see slimes, and they're kind of funny. But then, like, highlight, you see slimes, and they're just... they fall apart. They're, basic enemies. You literally spend, like, an hour grinding on slimes just to level up in that game. At the very start. Legend of Zelda, I guess technically you have... Let's just paralyze. I guess technically you have the Zols in Legend of Zelda, the original, to kind of like slimes, but I mean, there's not like a lot of enemies that are really threatening outside of like Darknuts in that game, so that doesn't really... And they're only found in dungeons, so... Ooh, I've forgotten how much electric damage hurts. Oh man, I can't hit anything for any sort of damage. I need a crest right now. Ah, that's why. Speaking of slimes... well, at least I have more caps of defense, but still... What the heck? Slimes? Slimes are not the weak things that early games make them out, like the other games make them out to be. Why are they viewed as weak? Who the heck came up with this idea? Akira Toriyama, I blame you. Is he the... No, he was like the art style that they based Dragon Quest off, but was that even his... I forget. I know he did Dragon Ball. I don't care, whatever. I don't know who to blame, I just want to blame someone because... Seriously. Why is this a thing? You know what? Let's charm the Element Mage. Why not? He doesn't come around here that often, so it's nice to be able to do something here. My title was Element Mage for a while, and then it turned into Fire Master. In Sorcerer Guild, at least. Not enough points! Wow, I chewed through my points. Thanks, Soul Entrapment. And I want to fight those things. Screw it, I have a sash. Wonderful use of the sash. I mean, I was using my white sashes to clear out the Dwarven Lord area, but that took so many casts and was so inefficient. Now that I have Paralyzing Death and can just do it that way, it's so much better. Have to rest for 6 days, don't care, make level. 2 more levels. Yeah, this leveling was going exceedingly quickly, and then I decided to record. And now I'm just getting stuck and whatnot. Cap of defense. Goodbye. well, not use, equip. Bring that in. Oh, because I don't have anything in 24. Why did my fingers just go there again? Yeah, let's just keep going. Okay. Resist tow, resist draw, resist par, resist resist F, resist co, electrical res, FEA, site. Yeah, so that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Other things, I've actually begun writing scripts and recording stuff for more scripted videos. I have one coming out on a unit class analysis for the Game Boy Advanced Fire Emblem games. Yes, more Fire Emblem, blah blah blah. That's what I like. Sue me. Don't actually do that, but I also don't know what grounds you could even do that on. So, I probably didn't have to acid spray, but whatever. I did what I did. Not even gonna bother with wraiths. I've been paralyzed, drained before, and when you're a single player, that means death when you're a single character. Oh, look at that. It feels so good. But yeah, so I've been working on that, writing it up, editing it down, making sure grammar is clear. Gonna start recording that in the future, hopefully. Then it just will become the very tedious process of editing, which, if you can tell from the little amount of editing that I put into these videos, I don't enjoy the editing process. It's not super enjoyable to me. It's kind of relaxing to do, but at the same time it's really grindy. Can't really even focus on other things when I'm doing it, because it takes so much time, and it takes a lot of focus, because I have to be able to hear stuff. So I can't just be listening to something else while I'm doing it. Yeah, screw editing. It's awful. And I really don't... Monse! Why can't I one-shot you? Really not a super huge fan of it. Plus, I also don't have, like, professional level editing software, so I don't... And I'm also not super familiar with the software I do have access to, so it's not something that I really enjoy, but it's something that I have to do. I enjoy the finished product, and I enjoy doing the recording and whatnot, but the editing itself is very... yeah, it's painful. I can definitely see why bigger YouTube channels hire other people to do their editing for them, because it's grindy work. It's like, I can turn on the camera, throw on recording, and just upload. That's what I do for this series, because this is my chill series. I laid back, fill time, just talk about what's going on and grind out and play Mordor. But when it comes down to things like... well... what am I gonna say? When it comes down to things like, yeah, making more scripted videos, even some of my other LPs required some editing stuff. I did the, what the heck was it called? I did the Mystery of the Emblem, that's what it is. Full Iron Man, book 1 and 2. And, sometimes I had to splice parts together. Sometimes I had, like, every video I had to throw on an end card. And that's very simple, very basic stuff, but even that required me to filter the entire video through my editing software, required me to... Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that experience jump. Yeah, required me to spend several hours just exporting the video, and not like hours per video usually. Longer ones it did a bit. But I had to run so many things, and it just slowed everything way down. Got to the point where I would just, like, set stuff to edit, walk away for the day, like go to class, and then come back. That's how long it would take. I'd have the freedom to do that, or if a real long video, I'd set it up, I'd close my laptop and go to sleep. Well, I've tied the level of the Guildmaster now. Which means a couple things. First of all, it means that one more level and I will have gotten to the level I want to be at. But second of all, it also means... I think the Flamestone was something I could equip. No, I can't. Okay. Adamantite helmet. How much is that? Way too much. Cloak of invisibility? Yes, okay. That'll save me like 3 spell points. That's the bank. Just sell that robe. Get my cloak out. Now whenever I switch over my classes, I shouldn't have to... Oh shoot, if I'm gonna be leveling wizard, I'm gonna have to unequip all of this. But we have there the studded leather. I can use Amulet of Flames. Can I use that? Yes, I can. Would I rather have that or the Ultravision? I think I'd rather have Ultravision. Racer's Strength, nope. Gauntlets of Might, not a chance. Can use a better shield, probably. Steel Shield. Even this little bit helps a decent amount. And I'm probably going to spend some time just grinding a scavenger after I finish this video, because it's easy levels. They're really quick. And I just enjoy... Like, the reason you play Mordor is because you enjoy making it a better character. You enjoy just seeing all the numbers go up. Yeah, Steel Helmet is not a helmet that gives... See Invisible. That's the Helm of Sight, or the Adamantite Helm. That should be everything, right? Yes, that's actually everything I need to cast now. Yeah, it's saving like 4 spell points. Not too bad. What is happening? Why am I turning the opposite ways? Oh yeah, probably press the down key. But yeah, so I don't enjoy editing is where I was getting at. I guess the whole point I'm trying to make here is I hate sauerkraut. Oh wait, no. That's a Great Owl song. So yeah, editing's kind of grindy, but I'm hitting a point in like all my other video projects because I have this script that I'm writing. I have another review video that I wanted to do. I just played through, actually not even just, it's it's been a while now, but I recorded my thoughts after I played it. I might add some more stuff to that, or re-record them because I don't even remember what they were. And we'll see. But I recorded my thoughts on FE7X, which is a still technically incomplete fan game, but it updated last year, I think was the last time it really updated. They had a big update. So that's cool. Apparently I actually started writing a script for a review of The Last Promise. I don't think I actually got very far in that review, but I have a whole Let's Play on my channel of that. All these different things. I'm also working on... It's a different type of editing that I'm going to have to do. I have a friend who works in sound production, and definitely going to be referring to him for this. But I've been trying to... Well, I've been writing an English singable translation for a song that was only in Japanese, didn't have any English translation to it. Someone did like a literal translation, like, you know, word for word, but meaning for meaning. But that is... Well, let's just say it's not exactly what the song actually is, so... Use the spell! It's not singable, is what I'm gonna say. Actually, so it is what the song is, but it's not singable. It doesn't fit tune, it doesn't have rhyme or meter to it, so I've been writing that, and writing something that will fit into this song, at least meter-wise, and giving it... I don't even think I have any rhyme to it, really. I might have a little bit, but not much. The whole point is just to get it singable, and so I've been wanting to record that down, actually sing that and whatnot, but I need to get background tracks, I need to lay out everything, I need to actually have really good mic quality for that, because I don't just want to be singing into a headset that's going to peak all over the place, and be really awkward and uncomfortable to sing itself. But yeah, so I figure if I can do that, get that done, that's another project that I'm going to be trying to work through sometime in January. So that, unit review thing, I have this review of FE7X I'm doing. I might finish my script and make a review of The Last Promise, because I already have an LP of that. In terms of other LPs that I might do, there are some other interesting Fire Emblem ROM hacks. I might actually make a blind LP of one of these other ones that I haven't gotten to yet, but that I've downloaded. Or I might do something special with a little thing called, what was it, Void's Blitzar Adventure. Really amazing ROM hack. Oh my goodness, it is... It's funny, and so it's GBA Fire Emblem, technically. It blends together elements of other ones, like it has skills from everything from Awakening to Fates to Heroes. It does so many other things. The gameplay itself is so good, the story doesn't care at all, which is fine. The maps themselves are decent, at least at worst. And the entire thing apparently was made in a week. They might have gone back and polished it up later, I don't know for sure. But they did exactly... Why is this not casting when I pressed the button the first time? And why are these guys always pieced now? I can never just walk in and spam the spell, I always have to let them hit me first. That's annoying. Yeah, so I might do that, or I might do a blind LP of one of these other ones, either Requiem or... I think there was another one that I haven't played through. I've heard good things of things like Staff of Ages, but I also don't know if that's a finished hack. I'll need to check that out. I'm sure there's other ones that I can look into. But basically, I've been aching to play more Fire Emblem because I haven't in a while. Since finishing FE7X and Void Splitsar, I haven't actually played any Fire Emblem hacks or any specifically Fire Emblem. Which is why I've been enjoying Mercenary Saga so much, because this has been... It's been an interesting game, shall I say. I definitely feel like I prefer the Fire Emblem formula more than this, because right now, the interesting thing about Mercenary Saga, at least the first game, I don't know if they've changed it in the other ones, because it's a whole trilogy that they released on Switch. The interesting thing about at least this first game is that right now I have 9 characters, but every single map in the entire rest of the game so far, everything I've played and everything it looks like going forward as far as I can see, I can use 6 units. So it's like, okay, Fire Emblem has it so you can't use all your units anyway at the same time, but at least I am now the new Guildmaster. Have this crest. Okay, cast Charm of Opening 6 times. That's nice. Cold Res and Drain Res. Not the best resistances. 3 Dex, 2 Strength, 1 Con. Not the best stats. They certainly could be worse, I guess. Yeah, at least 6 free casts of Charm of Opening per run is going to be nice and relaxing. Oh, man, I'm so glad that I found the Alt-S shortcut to just insta-sell. Because this works. It's so fast. Selling items to the store used to take like 3 minutes. Now I can do it all in like 20 seconds. Probably less than that, for like 10 seconds. Maybe even less than that, I don't know. Oh, crit, crit, crit. Okay, sure. Yeah, Mercenary Saga. It's fun, it's been enjoyable, but it's also the type of thing where it feels very grindy. Like, I constantly feel like I have to go back and play other things, not to get to a higher level, there's a little bit of that, but I need to grind for skill points, and I need to grind for... There's a little bit of level grinding, because, like, I want to get to the point where I can get to my next class change, which requires a certain level. So I need to grind to that. And then I need to actually get skill points, so I can change classes, so I can get to the next... You know, actually get the skills from that class that I want. All these different things, and it's like, you know, I could... what's what I'm trying to say? I could just go forward and try and play these next maps, but every map feels like such a difficulty spike compared to the... Okay, I have free casts. Every map has such a difficulty spike compared to the previous one, and it's like, okay, sure. But the thing is, I only ever... It's an interesting group, Rowdies and Gredlin Rogues. I only ever have 6 units to use. And sure, I only have a party of 9. It's not like Fire Emblem where you're getting a new unit every single map. But at least then you have, like, you know, 8, 9, 10, 11 units per map, usually. Like, that's one of the things I really appreciate in Fire Emblem when they give you a lot of units, and when they give you very few unit slots. Because they have that variety, that mix of things to them, because it makes you really think about what units you're using. Now, because I know it's 6 units every single map, doesn't matter, I just have 3 units that I haven't actually used in like 5 chapters, at least, because they're not useful. And sure, every unit does different things, but I would rather have units that have higher killing potential or have really good utility. Oh, apparently walking corpses are just immune to all sorts of magic, so it's not even whatever. I went in with Pillar of Fire, which you would think would be effective, and no, immune to fire. Um, wow, only one group of guards, so lonely. Just get like 4,000 experience on a single cast. Feels good. Feels so good. Yeah, so like I said, I have 9 units and I'm using 6 of them. Kind of trying to train a 7th one on the side, but it's not really going so well because I have to give so many skill points to my existing units, to my main party, to keep them in fighting form, to still allow them to use all the new skills I want them to get and everything. And so it becomes a point where, okay, I have 2 warriors, basically, and a mage that I'm not using, because I already have a warrior, a archer, a mage, a thief, and 2 clerics, a battle cleric and a more support cleric. And so those are the units I'm using, so I end up not really using, like, sure, I have another fighter who can stand on the front lines. Great. I have another mage who, can blast stuff really easily, but needs protection and doesn't have enough magic mana charging to blast every turn. He can turn into a summoner class, which my other mage can't, but summons take so much mana that he can't actually really do it. I need to much more heavily invest into him before he can do anything useful. So why am I doing this again when I just have a mage that can blast entire fields away with area of effect spells, and I don't have to worry about slow summoning and the summons drain your MP, which means, oh, I summoned a thing, but now my mage is useless as a mage. It's not like Divinity Original Sin where you summon a spider and that spider is like turns into MVP, and your mage can still do a million other things while the spider's going. Oh, I still need to finish Original Sin. That is such a good game. Yeah, I think actually right now, while I'm not in the middle of any other big RPGs, now is probably the perfect time for me to get back into Original Sin, because I'm not in the middle of any Fire Emblem games. I just finished getting all the characters in Smash Bros. Finished Breath of the Wild, what I'm gonna get out of it. I could go back and try and 100%, but it's just too grindy for me. I finished Xenoblade Chronicles and the DLC. I could go back through and try and get the challenge DLC, but I don't know, whatever. I have to go through the whole story again because I already started New Game Plus. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I could do in some of those things, but for the first time in a while, I'm not in the middle of any big game. So I think now's the perfect chance for me to get back into Original Sin, finish that. Oh, I also have Neo, which I really need to start because, well, I absolutely love the Dark Souls series, and Neo is basically Samurai Dark Souls from what I've seen of it. So I need to play that, need to make sure that that actually goes well. The computer runs it decently. which it should. Everything should work out for it. But yeah, so between Divinity Original Sin, which I'm already a decent ways into, and then Neo, those are two games that I'm actually going to use my computer for because I haven't really played much on my PC recently. Ever since I got a Switch, I've been playing that. Oh, I'm playing Into the Breach too. I've basically started filling out my desires for tactics games, because I've needed to play more of those and I've been starved for them. In terms of strategy games, like, you know, whatever, but I still need to finish Legacy of the Voids campaign in StarCraft 2. I used to love StarCraft so much. It's not that I don't enjoy StarCraft, I just haven't played it in so long. The internet and everything that all work at once overlap while stepping back in. Like, I stopped playing Heroes of the Storm because my mouse started having issues. Now I have a new mouse, it doesn't have any issues. Yeah. Anyway, I think that'll do that for the day. Please tell me I didn't stop and start this recording a million times. My recording says that I've been going for like 26 seconds. We might have a problem. Oh shoot. Well, thanks for watching. Oh shoot, more editing. This is Mythos Zenith signing out.